If you'd like to learn how to make these adorable Jellycat marshmallow photo holders using polymer clay, then keep on watching. Hi everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. It's been a really long time since I filmed a clay tutorial, so I really hope you enjoy this one. I'm going to be showing you how to make the pink marshmallow, but the white one follows the exact same steps. To start, mix FIMO White and Rose together to create a lighter pastel pink. I'm doing this mainly because I didn't have enough rose left to make the marshmallow, so this step is optional if you want to just go ahead and use whatever clay you have straight out of the packet. Next, make the core of the marshmallow using tin foil. I did this so I didn't need to use a load of clay and the photo holder isn't going to be that heavy. I'm making mine a bit bigger because I also want them to hold much larger 5-inch photo prints. Ball up the clay and shape it by rolling the sides and pressing it down onto your work surface to flatten each end. Keep adding foil and repeat until you're happy with the size and the shape. Now you're going to want to go and stretch out your pink clay and wrap it around the foil to make sure that it's long enough to cover the middle section. Roll this out into a sheet, making sure there's enough excess clay to cover the top and the bottom as well. Now you can cover the foil marshmallow with your pink clay. I cut a little too much off here, so I added an extra strip back in. And don't worry if it looks really messy, we're about to tidy it all up. Now that everything's covered, you can roll the marshmallow in your hands and gently squeeze it to blend all the edges together. It can take a while to smooth everything out, so just take your time with it. You can use your finger and with a light pressure gently swipe it across the clay wherever you see the joints to blend them in. You can also roll an acrylic rolling pin around the edges to dome them and help flatten any bumpy areas. Once you're happy with the result, we can move on to adding a face. With the dotting tool, gently mark where you want each eye to go, and when you're happy with the placement, you can indent them deeper. For the eyes, roll out some black clay into a log, cut off 2 equal sections, and then roll these into balls and place them inside the hole. My clay had some dust on it at this point, so before continuing on with the face, I'm going to clean around the eyes using rubbing alcohol and a cotton bud. I always remember that one scene in Toy Story where Woody's getting cleaned up whenever I do this. For the mouth, I'm using a straw and I cut this in half to indent the smile line. This is a little hack if you're working on larger clay pieces and just need some little guidelines on where to put the smile. Roll out a really thin log of black clay, cut enough, and then place it in the indent. For the cheeks, I'm using some pastel chalk shavings and with a tiny brush picking up some pigment and brushing it on under the eyes. You can also use tiny balls of darker pink clay if you'd prefer. It is however essential the areas you're applying the pastel chalk are dust free, as you can't remove the dust afterwards without also removing the pastels. Now it's time to make the little marshmallow feet, so I'm using FIMO Sand, rolling the clay into a log and then cutting it in half. Roll these both into balls, making sure they're the same size. Take one and roll it on your work surface, applying slightly more pressure to one end so it forms this chunky sort of teardrop shape. You now want to push up and pinch that larger end so it creates this curved shape for the feet. You can neaten it up by making the legs narrower and the base of the foot a bit flatter and rounder by gently pinching the clay into place. It's really hard to explain, but hopefully you understand what I'm doing by watching me here. Now we can attach it to the body. I decided to snip off the end of an eye pin and insert it halfway through the foot for some extra strength. You can clean up the foot as well with some rubbing alcohol before attaching it on. You should have something like this, and now you want to go and repeat these steps for the other foot. The last step is to create the slot for the photo to go in. For this, I used a scrap piece of card and pressed it into the top to indent a straight line, and then using my sculpting knife, I cut gently to make the gap a bit bigger. I rocked the cardboard side to side as well, just to make sure that the slot went right across the top. You can now bake your piece to package's instructions. For me, it was 30 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius. Let your piece cool completely down, and if you do have any dust left on it like I do here, you can wet sand it. Run your marshmallow under water and then gently swirl your sandpaper over the surface to remove any dust. And now you're done! You can glaze them or leave them bare as I've done here with mine, because I like how squishy and soft they look, like they're real marshmallows. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and let me know if you'd like to see any more Jellycat inspired polymer clay videos. I have a clay tutorial playlist on my channel, so I will leave that in description if you'd like to see what else I've made. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.